Hi, peeps. Welcome to the It's Your Life and Your Choice 2 podcast. This is scientific called Alley Ups and Alley Oops, and I already know you guys can tell by my voice, and those of you who are watching on YouTube can tell something is gravely wrong. I'm fighting a fight right now. I didn't even want to come on here and do this. I didn't even think I was going to make an episode. But I'm trying to stick to it and hold on tight. And I'm making this episode as a reminder to myself. To also show myself that however far down we fall, we can get back up. That even though right now everything feels like it's falling apart and I can't see the way through this, I don't know what's to come. But I'm trying to hold on. The thought of Curl Alt Delete and just exiting the chat is honestly on top of my mind right now. High. On top of my mind. From every direction, I'm currently fighting a battle that I don't see how I'm gonna win it. I really don't. It feels like my kids would be better off with someone else taking care of them, not me. Because I can't show up right now as the mom they need me to be. Because I'm having trouble showing up for myself. Being there for myself. I feel, it almost feels like, not as bad as the story of Job, but it feels like I'm walking in the story of Job. That I don't know when this suffering is going to end. And I'm trying to suffer well and understand that we all go through stuff like this. We all go through trials and tribulations. It's just seeing clear to the other side. I haven't been able to see it. I can see all the good things that happen in my life. Like, I can see what is worth living for, but in this economy, in this environment, the lack thereof, sorry. Emotions are really high right now, so I do apologize in advance for having to stop. My nose is completely locked up because I was crying, like ugly cry. And I kind of wanted to call my mom and say I'm done. Someone's gonna have to pick up your grandkids. But I'm trying to push forward and push through. It's not just a thought of my kids wondering where their mom is. I'm trying to tell myself, what this would do to my family as a whole, not just my kids, but those around me. If only they could understand the pain and the heartache that I'm feeling. It's just, it really is a lot that's going on at once, and I really don't know how I'm going to get through this. Yeah, I don't care. I've been crying for, almost an hour now. So at this point, like, my sleeves are covered in tears, and I'm going to use my shirt because I'm more than likely just going to take it off and change my shirt. So, yeah, you just saw that. But I'm a mess right now because, like, what's going on is I currently have to Uber to be able to make ends meet. And it's not fully making ends meet because it's not guaranteed money. And I'm in Orlando. You're out there on the road with other drivers that aren't watching fully where they're going, that aren't paying attention. Like, there's so much that happens when Ubering, whether you're doing delivery or rides. I'm having to do both at the same time, and I have to work around my kid's schedule. My job has cut my hours to the point that I'm not even on the schedule, and I've already tried looking up online, looking for jobs that can work around my kids. It's not easy being a single parent. Yeah, you could easily say that, well, you shouldn't have kids or you shouldn't have blah blah blah, whatever. I wasn't expecting that my now ex-husband was going to do what he did, and he's not helping or providing, he's not leading, he's not teaching these kids, he's not paying anything. It's just me, and all I have is one person that I created these children with. And it's not fair to them because I have to watch them and sit there and be with them as they cry and ask for their dad that just wants to be there when he wants to be there. To do video chats when he feels like it. Not understanding what it's doing to them. My oldest has been praying to God that his dad comes home because he wants to see him because his dad left state again. For the second time in less than a year, that he just barely had his dad back. He only had his dad back for 6 months. That's it. And he barely got to see his dad in that time. And it wasn't because I withheld. It's because he didn't want to show up. He didn't want to see his kids. It was on his time. And on my dime half the time. At his convenience, not mine. And he'd show up to my place and spend time with them, where I wouldn't have that space to do what I needed to do. He just came here and played with them for like 30 minutes to an hour when he did show up, and then left. All it did was make them hurt more, because it's like, why does dad only want to spend this little bit of time with me rather than actually bonding, doing things together? Why does he just come play with toys, have his girlfriend with him, and is distracted sometimes, not giving all his effort? On top of, I got in a car accident over 3 months ago, and I've been fighting the insurance company, not mine, the other one, to get my car repaired. And now they just said, oh, we find you at fault. Even though there's a police report, there's a whole bunch of information that proves it was the other person's fault, that she rolled a stop sign. She didn't even properly stop. And in order to go, I now have to go through my insurance company, but that's going to leave me out of work. Whether it's my actual job that has cut me hours that they put me on the clock, or for Ubering for 1 to 2 days, because they only work Monday through Friday. And I don't have a backup plan for another side hustle I could do to make money while my car is in the shop. So now I'm stressing about bills. On top of, I don't have any friends here in Orlando. Someone that I can call up and say, hey, can you come sit on my couch for a little bit and just be here? All I have is a phone, and I don't mean to say I hate, but I dislike having to talk to people through a phone, because there's so many distractions going on in the background. Whether they're driving, kids, whatever. I'd rather us be physically present, so you can also see like body language and all this stuff that isn't shown through a phone. Yeah, you have video chat, but it's still not the same. On top of there's still other stuff that I'm going through and dealing with that I really don't want to talk about. I kind of can't talk about. It's so much happening at once. I'm getting hit and getting hit and getting hit. But I'm asking myself, like, am I the problem? Yeah, I may not be the problem to some of the situations that it truly is out of my control, but it's just so frustrating. I'm frustrated. I don't get to go out. Even taking my kids out to eat, I can't afford to do so. And I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to provide for them and catch back up. I was getting to a point where I was caught back up. And I was having money left over that I was building my savings. I was doing it. I was finally getting to that place that I was dreaming of after being a single mom for 2 years now. I was right there. And then it all fell apart just recently. And now I'm doing everything I can to make ends meet. And I can't even find another job if I needed to right now, because it's so hard to find a company that, one, pays enough, and two, works around kids and my kids' schedule. My kids can get sick at any moment because they're young. And then I'm the one having to call out. So then I'm now unreliable. And I don't want to be unreliable. I'm a hard worker. Yeah, I make mistakes, but don't we all? I don't blame my company for what they're doing. I understand. I messed up on a cleaning over a month ago. So they cut my hours to now they cut it fully to the point where I don't even have any. My schedule's blank. So I'm gonna go back to Ubering because I still have to provide. I still have to take care of my kids and keep a roof over our head and keep the lights on. But now I need to get my car fixed. The bumper fell off the other day, and I'm so grateful for The people that I had around me to help me, from family to the friends that they know, to put it back on. But now there's a possibility, because of the amount that the repairs are going to cost, my car could get totaled. And I wouldn't have anything to go get another vehicle. And it's not just like that, snap of the fingers. To go get another vehicle, you gotta have a down payment. And that means that my other car wouldn't even be fully paid off, because the insurance doesn't give you the rest of what's owed for the car. They just give you basically like a percentage of the value of the car. And I'm trying to remind myself, none of this has happened yet. This is just all talk. Some of it is, not all of it. Obviously, the work situation is not talk, it's active. But the car situation is talk. I don't know what to do. I do not see things working out. I'm not trying to be negative, Nancy. I'm trying to live by what I say, of watch what you say. Be careful of your thoughts. Like, all this stuff becomes your reality. It does. And there are things that are just going to be truly out of your control that happens. It doesn't matter what you do to prevent these things, but sometimes just some things are going to happen that there's nothing you can do about it. I don't want to give up on this life that I have. I don't mean anything bad towards my mom. I just don't want me and my kids living with them. That's too many people in one household. My kids wouldn't have the space that they have now. Yeah, they would have a yard to be able to play, but my kids are loud and obnoxious. And I don't want to ruin that dynamic for my mom. She doesn't have little kids anymore. I wouldn't have the church that I go to now, that I love and I'm happy with. Things just aren't the same as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Things are so expensive now, and the rate of pay do not match, that they really are. Not trying to be conspiracy theorists, but everyone knows this. Those who are up there in high ranking are trying to crush the smaller ones, like us. And those of you who have a village, who have the extra circumstances, who have whatever the extra help that you have, don't take it for granted. I've had help, and I'm so grateful for the help that I do have. But I don't have someone at the drop of a dime to, hey, I need you to watch the kids. I don't have grandparents that stay at home because they have to work too to live. So don't take that stuff for granted. Truly enjoy what you have and be grateful for it. Be grateful for the help that you've gotten. And I'm not trying to go tit for tat of like, oh, my situation's worse than yours. I'm just explaining my situation, and I just want you guys to know, like, those of you who have people to lean on to watch your kids so you can go to work, please don't take that for granted. Please don't. Not everyone out here has that type of help. For those of you who actually listen to this one, thank you. I really didn't want to make one, but I don't know what else to really say, like, other than don't give up. I am trying my hardest to not go to that extent because I truly don't want my kids to miss me like that. I know how much my boys love me. I don't want to put my family through that. I don't want to put the people who do care about me or check in on me through that. So I'm going to try my hardest to not fall that far. But the weight of everything that's going on around me is crushing me. And for those of you who are also feeling crushed, that are going through stuff too, I'll pray for you. Because I understand when it feels like there's no hope, when it feels like you don't know what's going to happen next, when you can't see the way through this. Reminder to self, there's no turning back. You have to keep pushing forward. When I see this in the future, I will be reminded about how hard things were and how I kept pushing forward. And that's what I need you guys to do too. Keep pushing forward. Write a little note to yourself and say, hey, this is what we're experiencing today. That we're at that verge of exiting the chat, so that you can go back and you can read it for yourself to say, hey, I actually won this battle. I won it. Instead of giving up and quitting. As they always say, when you feel like giving up and failing is when something is right around the corner. So I'm going to hold on to that. That something is coming, that I'm going to be out of this situation, out of this mess, that there is something on the other side, through all this heartache, through all this pain, especially wanting someone there by your side and not having anyone to come home to. My kids aren't old enough to understand this, so I have to have my little cry session now, and when I go to pick up my kids, I have to be on my best, like, I love you guys, how was your day? I have to put on the best face for them of having mom, and not show them everything that's happening behind the scenes, because they don't understand, they're too young. But I want to give them the best life possible. I'm not trying to shelter them from this stuff. However, they are way too young to understand any of this. So I'd rather give them a happy version of me, even though I feel dead inside. It also hurts so bad that I really am craving a person to be with, that I want someone to be able to reach out to and say, hey, I've fallen apart. I only got 10% today. Can you help me pick up the other 90? Or help provide the space that I need to pick myself back up? Someone to lean on. A partner. I crave that intimacy so much. Being single, everyone's like, well, enjoy your single era and this and that and whatnot. Cool, I've had my time of being by myself, and I don't want to be by myself anymore. I want to love someone like Jesus loves us and more. That's what I crave. And that just kind of makes all of this harder. I'm truly doing this alone. I'm fighting this battle fully by myself. I don't really have anyone to lean on. I want to call my mom, and at the same time, I don't. At the same time, I don't want her to hear this side of me of wanting to give up. I don't want to put this burden on her. And I don't want her to talk about me coming back home. Because at the end of the day, I just don't want to. There's a list of reasons that there's more cons of moving back in with my mom than there is pros. Yeah, I wouldn't have to pay rent, and I wouldn't have to pay a sewer bill and a couple of other things. Not really a couple of other things, just maybe like one other thing. But where my mom is, finding a job is going to be much harder. Much harder. I don't know. I really don't know what goes on, what's to come from here. What's at the end of the road. But I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to try not to give up. For those of you who are going through similar situations, who are going through it right now, or just need someone to listen, send out an email. It's your life, period, and your choice too, at gmail.com. 2 as in the number 2. And send in your email if you want it to be read on the podcast. I'll read it anonymously. If you just want someone to listen, I'll listen. I want the best for you guys. I want you to grow. I want you to heal from this. I want you to be able to look back on these times and just see your growth. Okay? I love you guys. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in if you decided to listen, even though I'm a mess, but thanks.